Hey there, I'm Mr. Know-It-All, the lead swing trading analyst trader at Swing Trade Pros, the #1 swing trading and bot community in the world. And I genuinely want to help you make your mark in the thrilling world of swing trading cryptocurrency. I've been trading since 2017 and I've taught myself many different trading strategies, patterns. I'm known for the falling wedge pattern, as you guys might know. I've dedicated my life to mastering these types of structures and patterns, and now my goal is to impact the lives of 1 million of you. Heard that right. My goal is to impact 1 million people this full cycle. Let that be you. Cryptocurrency markets can be a roller coaster ride, full of ups and downs. But through swing trading, I've discovered a strategy that can truly make a difference. I've poured countless hours to studying the intricacies of wedge patterns, rising wedge patterns, you name it, and it has become my area of expertise. Here's the thing. I genuinely want to see you thrive in this market. That's why I've made it my mission to impact 1 million of you. I want to provide you with the tools, insight, and support you need to navigate this exciting but challenging landscape. Swing trading is not just about technical analysis. It's about understanding market psychology and developing disciplined risk management strategies. I'll be there to guide you step by step as we identify different types of patterns and structures and seize profitable opportunities. Together, we'll build your confidence in trading skills, ensuring you're well prepared to face the twists and turns of swing trading. Believe me when I say that I genuinely care about your success. That's why I'm inviting you to join me, Mr. Know-It-All, on this transformative journey. Let's make the most of this full cycle and work towards your financial freedom together. You'll find all my links in my bio. Reach out and let's dive into this world of swing trading. I'm here to support you and your family and guide you every step of the way because your success matters to me. Together, let's make a real impact and achieve trading success.
All right, welcome back, traders. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful weekend here. We had a bit of price action on Friday. It was pretty nice. Some nice price action. We saw Bitcoin trade up to that 60,000 and change region. Kind of tagging this 60,700 region. And right now here, I'm just looking at the 12-hour chart. We're tagging the 50 period on the 12-hour. Looks like we're a bit extended. On the RSI here a bit, we have a bit of sell side pressure coming into the market here, going into the close, or even really just today, we had a bit of sell side pressure come in, right? I wouldn't say anything really that concerning. Like we didn't take out this candle here. This was quite an engulfing candle. So I think, since we called out this low last week when we got that 12-hour buy signal, literally last Sunday, I pretty much said that we were probably going to tick back up here. What happened to LUSD? I don't know, man. I think it got rugged, right? So we had that MFI signal coming in, and that led us on a nice little push up here, right? And so, yeah, about 11% since that signal came in. But so far, all we've really done is make a lower high than 64,000 and change. What we really want to see is taking out this high, okay? And so that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. We could get a bit of a retracement, maybe back down to the 56 level. If we do continue to see some downside here, which it looks like we might continue to see some downside here, just based on what I'm seeing on the tether chart here, right? We can see that we broke this this trend line here, or actually, I guess we technically didn't even break it. We just kind of pivoted here and made a higher low. So like I said before, I don't really get extremely bullish this market until we start taking out these tether lows and making new lows. So that's the long and the short of it. We're you can't really be. I would just. I mean, we're still stuck in this range, guys. Like that's just the name of the game right now. We put in like a high or low or the same low on price, and we got a bit of a rally here. Like I said before, I'd like to see us clear this $65,000 region. That would make me a little bit more confident to say that we could see maybe the top of the range, 68K. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at here on Bitcoin. On the weekly time frame, we right, bullish engulfing candle from last week. Yep, that's clear. So we tested this region right here, this $60,000 region that we were not able to close above. I suspect, yeah, we test maybe 56, 57K coming on down here potentially. Probably going into this rate cut news is what I'm thinking. All right, we did get a nice bounce here off the 50 period, and we engulfed off of it, so very nice. Our weekly is starting to show signs of negative momentum sort of weaning off, so that's something good to see. You can start to see some of that divergence kind of maturing, right? It hasn't matured just yet, but you can see that it's starting to show signs of that. Our weekly RSI is just neutral. Yeah, it's very close to crossing bullish control zone, but it hasn't done so just yet. And yeah, you can see the coiling happening here. You can see the coiling happening here. We do have this major trend line here that we need to break on the RSI for us to really see a momentum shift in this market. And until we actually do that, I think range bound and sideways stuff or trading in between ranges like we're doing right now is kind of where we're at. Right. We did get like an early weekly buy signal here that came in September 2nd. We've been kind of ticking up since then, but no real resolve on this structure, just more, it looks to be more consolidation. I wouldn't say it's bearish consolidation either. I would say it's bullish consolidation, only because of how we're sort of just ranging up like really close to and near the previous all-time high regions. If we were in a bear market, guys, like straight up, if we were in a bear market and we topped out, like completely topped out, just look what would have happened within, I don't know, 2 months. We would have been down 50%. Okay. So to me, this is a bullish consolidation. We have not drawn down 50%. We've drawn down at max 32%. And so I think we're going to get more of the same things. We're going to just go sideways in this range here until we start taking out these middle of the range areas like 65, 64, 65K. Then there's a high probability chance we can go to the top of the range, right? So until then, we're just going to sit in the middle bottom of this range between 54 to 60K is what I'm seeing. Cool. Let's look at the futures market here and take a look at the DXY real quick. So DXY opening a new weekly, and last week's candle was kind of a nothing burger candle, really. I mean, we clearly have a bearish consolidation going on here. We're still holding above the 200-week moving average, and it looks like we're going to end up testing that here again soon. Okay. And let's see. So we did get like a weekly buy signal that did print on regular candles, not on HA candles, but yeah, that makes sense. We're very oversold on the oscillator here on the dollar, so we could see the dollar bounce a bit. Okay, we could see the dollar bounce a bit here. It's very possible that we see the dollar, even tag this 101.83 region. We could even go back up to tag 103 before then losing this low. all right, because we are oversold on the weekly time frame. All right. And yeah, that could catalyze the markets to go down. That's a very big possibility. We definitely don't want to be ignoring that fact, that could happen. All right. I mean, it's very clear that the dollar is weak, but when an asset's oversold, we could see some upside on it, right? Like it's that, but zoom out a bit, go to your 3-month here, your quarterly chart. We got bearish divergence maturing here on the MACD oscillator. That is telling you some things for the next 3 to 6 months. What's going to happen to the dollar? Doesn't look good for the dollar. Okay. So yeah, I think eventually this resolves itself down over the course of the next few months. And that's kind of what we're all waiting for, right? We're all kind of waiting for price discovery for Bitcoin or continuations on the NASDAQ or the S&P, really the equities market. And that brings me to look at the global liquidity index. And we'll look at ETH, yeah, sure. All right, so ETH kind of really just holding its parabola structure for now. It's long-term parabola structure that it's in. Really, you can see that this trend line is being respected and regarded as support. Okay, you can see these 2 wicks that we got down here. I mean, ETH is very weak right now, definitely. But that could change pretty quickly once we get the green light, right? I think by like, middle of October or towards the end of this year, we're going to see this asset a lot higher than it is right now. Next couple of weeks, we could, like I said, just range sideways, maybe down. Yeah, like the weekly here is still, it's bearish on the weekly chart, right? 37 on the RSI. That's in the bearish control zone. So bears have control of this asset right now. And it'll probably stay that way until we see Bitcoin start to move. We are starting to flash some weekly buy signals here on our MFI. And that could be a signal, right? Like I do believe that this trend line is probably going to hold. We might make some candles down here at 2,200 or even as low as 2,100, like candle body closes. We could do that. We've so far not put candles down below there, but we could. To me, actually, this candle right here, this weekly candle is typically a reversal candle on the weekly chart. So we'll see what happens this week. We have this whole week here to put in some green for this to be a valid reversal candle. Okay. So right now, ETH is holding the 200-week moving average. Usually when we're down at the moving average down here, this is usually pretty close to the bottom. If you look historically at Ethereum, right? Yes, we had deviations, down in 2019 here, and we had the COVID crash, like massive deviation. But pretty much we don't spend too much time below the 200-week moving average. Okay, we don't spend too much time below in a bull market. So it's probably a buying opportunity if you believe we are going higher in these markets. All right. So that's your ETH. We cover the dollar index. Let's cover the NASDAQ here in the futures market. All right. So S&P last week put in a candle. It didn't engulf the previous week's candle, but man, that is a very, very strong candle that we did put in. Kind of like nothing happened. We just came right back up to the top of the range. Very strong, I would say. And we do have 2-day MACD bullish divergence that is going to mature here. We are probably going to see a major move from the S&P this week. That's very strong, guys. A low, a higher low up here. Okay. It's very strong to see that on the S&P. On the NASDAQ, similar, but the S&P is a lot stronger. Right? We're much closer to an all-time high than the NASDAQ. But again, with the higher low, the double bottom, right, the neckline. So this is valid once we break the neckline here on the NASDAQ at 19,808 roughly region. And so once we do that, we're then looking at about a 15% measured move, okay, on the NASDAQ. And that will take you into new all-time highs for the NASDAQ. Very, very, very nice wave structure here on the NASDAQ. It looks like a sort of cipher pattern or one of these types of structures where we do something like that. And then we get, you know, the 5-0 pattern where we pull back and then we continue higher. So, yeah, NASDAQ, S&P looking pretty strong with their weekly closes last week. And, yeah, we'll see how this goes into a Fed rate cut. I think they're going to send it just by looking at the chart. It just looks very bullish to me. I'm not just saying that. Everything is screaming to me here that we're going to see higher. You know, we're getting these cross ups here on like almost all the oscillators on the daily and 2-day here. Nice cross up here on the NASDAQ. Bitcoin just looks like not so good in comparison to the NASDAQ and the S&P. Just still lagging behind the indices. Gold putting in a candle. All right. Gold putting in a candle last week too. Wow. What a move here on gold. Bullish engulfing candle. Highest weekly candle close we've ever seen on gold. Amazing stuff. Gold is pushing. I really think that this could be potentially a 10-year run for gold. Because, I mean, the last time it broke its all-time high was here. All right. And with conviction, right? So that was in 2008. And that went on for 1,400 days, roughly 1339. So what's that? Okay, maybe a 3-year or 4-year run here for gold is what this could be. You know, with your runs and your pullbacks and higher lows and your, you know, higher highs and higher lows type of things. Yeah, gold's trying to outperform BTC. Now, I think Bitcoin is just going to do a send it candle as soon as it's deemed necessary for risk assets to start performing again. Silver also putting in quite the candle. Man, look at that monthly back test off that 786 fib extension, like to the T, like just break back test, and that thing is ready to go. Silver looks like it's also ready to move higher to $36. And I would say it's lagging behind. It's obviously lagging behind gold, but I joke about this a lot, but this is like one of the biggest cup and handle patterns I've ever seen that probably won't mature until I'm dead. But look at this. So here's your cup and here's your massive handle. Okay. And the handle is a 255% measured move when broken. And that'll take silver to, man, I don't know. We'll just call it the 1414 fib extension at $150. That'll probably take 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years for this to play out. But man, that's a huge move for silver. A lot of these commodities are going to make major movements. And this is great. It's kind of nuts, right? So, I mean, if commodities are going to make these types of movements, what's Bitcoin going to do? Bitcoin is a commodity. So, and really mostly all of crypto are commodities. Ethereum is a commodity. Pretty much all of them are deemed as commodities at this point. So crypto should rally with gold and silver. I mean, that's what the charts say anyway. What do you guys think? Let's hear you guys' feedback in the comment section here. Gold and silver is constitutional money. Sure. Should be interesting the next 3 to 4 months. Yep. I agree. I think we just got to get through September here for crypto anyway. Like I said before, I think range bound here between 54 to 60K, maybe even up to 65. Until Tether starts really taking out these lows here, I can't really be like, yeah, we're just going to go break all-time highs. Not yet. It doesn't look like that yet. That's happening just yet. It might happen. I'm thinking it's going to happen after the election. We break all-time highs. So we got a couple months here of chopping around and whatever. So just keep accumulating your favorite altcoins because a lot of them are destroyed. And I think that's a really good plan. Let's look at the total 3 chart for the altcoin market here. Just kind of continuing to be in this structure. And really, it looks like we might end up putting in maybe one more low in October here. We might just roll over here, come back down, bounce again, make another lower high, reject the trend line one more time. Yeah, like maybe like sometime in October. Yeah, I agree. Especially for risk assets, like speculative risk assets, like altcoins, right? So yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to end up making new lows in this market. I think we're just going to end up holding this range here at around that $520 billion region. So yeah, we're going to probably see some pullbacks here, some more consolidation potentially. Once we end up resolving this major wedge structure here on total 3, I think we're going to see fireworks after that. So yeah, we probably have about another month of doing this type of behavior before we really get some movement in this market. That's kind of my overall outlook here. Feel free to provide your feedback, comments. If you think that we're going to crash to 40K or even lower, kind of let me know. I don't necessarily foresee that happening right this very moment in time. We do have some altcoins that are starting to outperform as well. I will give you an example. This coin right here, Nervos Network, is making some major moves. Putting in a nice low right down here, catching bids like you wouldn't believe. This asset has appreciated since September 2nd. In 2 weeks, it has appreciated 121% off its range low. That is pretty significant to see for an altcoin. Fetch is probably doing pretty well. I know it made a bottom around 80, 90 cents. It's holding its trend line here. And it's up about 40% from its low, 50% from its low, 80% from its low. So yes, also performing pretty well. There's a number of altcoins that are actually doing pretty well right now. So that's kind of the overall situation. I think a lot of these alts are actually really set up on the chart on the longer term time frames. Yeah, a super is doing extremely well. Holding this major 50 cent region here as support and rallying off of it. We did just tag this 618 fib extension, probably a congestion area for it right now. But it does have room here on the weekly chart to continue. You can see that the stochastic RSI is nice and separated here. It's not overbought just yet and not showing us signs of exhaustion on the weekly time frame. Fed pivot in Japan raising interest rates will reset the markets. Okay, yeah. So you're expecting a further crash in the market, and that's fair. That could happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying at this very moment in time, we have to just trade what we see in front of us, and we're just looking at some ranges right now. If the ranges end up breaking, then we can trade a different part of the range, right? Like it's I mean, we are above this 786 fib extension or 886 fib extension right now here on the weekly time frame. We're just above it, so meaning we closed the candle above it here, and we're probably going to come back down to tag it. We didn't get above this $60,000 region just yet, but I would say we're good until we start making weekly closures below 55K. Like if we end up taking this candle out, then yeah, I would say we're going lower. But until we do that, there's no reason to say that that's necessarily going to happen right away, because this was some pretty strong action that we saw last week. That's it. Would it make sense for us to come down to like 51K again? Yeah, that would maybe make some sense. We're still trading within the bounds of this structure, like almost to the T. My only thing that I don't like is that these highs didn't go and touch and test this channel. Okay, so yeah, you know, there is the argument that these rallies are becoming weaker and the bears are getting stronger here on these movements down. So there is that case right now. But we haven't taken out this low on a weekly time frame. If we start taking out that low on a weekly time frame with a candle body close, we can talk about lower prices. So that's our market structure right now. If we break market structure, we can expect lower prices. That's kind of where I stand right now on this market. Kamala Harris wins the election. We see a huge sell-off. Potentially. I don't really know how that's going to play out. It's tough to just call that. It's like not something that you can really do. What I'm really looking at here is global liquidity index, okay? And if you look at global liquidity index, because that's typically how these markets work, is on liquidity cycles. And we're at the bottom of the liquidity cycle right now, right? Like this is a pretty clear wedge setup that we're actually breaking out of right now. We've started to break out on global liquidity. And I would say as this goes up, the markets will go up. She wants to tax on unrealized capital gains. Yeah, but she wants to tax on unrealized capital gains on people with a net worth of over $100 million. So yeah, the really rich and elite probably won't really want that. But that doesn't matter if she gets people to vote for her. She wants to keep Gary Gensler around. Yeah, it's also true. Yeah, I don't really think I don't really want to get political on this stream, but I don't know who's going to win the election. It doesn't really isn't applicable to what I'm doing here on a chart. Global liquidity just broke out. That's all you need to know. So that means they are turning the money printers on across the globe. That's all you need to know, man. Once they turn on the printer, it's risk on environment. because they're just devaluing the dollar more and more and more and more. So that's it. You can see here, this was COVID. This is silver. Like, check it out. It's pretty confluent, right? So in March of 2020, COVID, right after COVID, silver went nuts. Because what did they do? They just printed all this effing money. And silver went up a bunch. It went from like $11 to $30. It went 3x. I mean, it's silver. It's like a... But yeah. Could watch the liquidity cycles. It's pretty important to understand. You guys have any other assets you guys want to look at? Or you guys want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? My only argument with gold and silver is that it's been demonetized. What's up, Veritas? I did look at USDTD. Yep. I said it put in a higher low. And that's why I said we could see some continuation down. Until we start taking out like 65K. IJ Money, they will. They're going to continue cutting rates into 2025. Most likely. Because they're going to print all this money. What, do you think they want to refinance all their debt at a high interest rate? No. They got to cut so they can borrow for less. JPEQ. This is a stock on the Australian exchange. Yeah, I would say this looks decent. You have some nice bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. That's implying a movement back up. If you can get back above this range, this $57 range, you could probably trade back to about $60. Yeah, but I mean, like, dude, you just like I said, I think we got like another month of this chopping around shit, and after the election, it's probably on. Right? Like, a lot of these assets look like they're ready to do something. Like, we even had a 3-day cross up here on Bitcoin. Stochastic RSI cross above the 20. You got a 3-day buy signal. It's confirmed. Okay. Can see a day or two of nothing burger and then just whammo. Just saying. Okay. How did our weekly close on that? Actually, that's a good point. No confirmed cross yet, but close to cross. 2 week, no cross yet, but close to a cross. So like I said, probably another couple weeks. But they're holding above a key level now. We just got back above the daily 200-day moving average on the futures market here. Right, we made closures back above. And you can see that these consolidations are getting tighter and tighter in the ranges here. We could get one more low put in at 56K. And then we got to break this region. We got to break back above 60K. Otherwise, we are going to probably break lower. Okay. That's basically it, guys. Just monitor the bottoms of the range here. Look for buying opportunities at the bottom of the range. I would say longer term, right? And just chill. We got some time here to fend off these bears. So I think that we're going to eventually have a breakthrough candle here. I think it's going to probably happen after the election. I've said this already, but it makes the most sense for it to happen after the election. Once the market has confidence in the market. And the Fed has already been starting their liquidity. Global liquidity index is starting to rip out. Like they've already cut rates. All those things have already matriculated through, right? Just like takes time for that to all materialize in the market, I think. And that's kind of what we're looking at. And we don't have a weekly cross just yet or a 2-week cross just yet. It's like impending, right? So more time to pick up some Bitcoin or some altcoins that you think have value for this upcoming run. All right. Appreciate all you guys tuning in, man. How have you guys been? How was your guys' week? Who's all tuned in? We got Veritas, Toe, IJ Money, Tin Top. We got 2 other lurkers in here. I think Nick was lurking around. Identify yourself. Who's this? The 6th viewer. Yeah. It was a long week. Yeah, definitely. It's action packed. Yeah, I think we're gonna see some dippage right now, and then I think what'll happen is we might get a bit of a move up or something during the rate cut. That's what it looks like might happen. Is they're taking it down right now, so maybe reaccumulation before the rate cut. Unless they end up breaking the low. If we end up just breaking the low, then we're going lower. NVIDIA, yeah. NVIDIA. Pretty strong weekly candle for NVIDIA, right? Just look at the lows. Low, higher low, another higher low. Looks pretty good, man. Just bullish engulfing candle on the weekly chart. Very strong for NVIDIA. Very nice. Look at that pin. Neckline break around 130. You do that, you're probably sending to new all-time highs. It's just what it looks like, man. It's just what it looks like, right? Like a lot of what we were just talking about before on the NASDAQ going to new all-time highs. Well, NVIDIA probably going to go to new all-time highs if that occurs. Yeah. Looks pretty strong. Tesla. Also pretty strong, right? Like weekly bullish engulfing candle. You can start to see the low, the higher low, the higher low. You can start to see the accumulation happening on Tesla chart. And you can clearly see that this was a trend line that was broken. We broke it and like just consolidated here for a while. We had this big dip, and then they brought it back above, right? So you could clearly see that NVIDIA is going, or Tesla is looking like it wants to continue higher here, right? With this accumulation structure. It's a big momentum shifting structure on the chart on the weekly time frame, right? And the monthly here has lots of room to grow. You're sitting here just sitting bullish on the monthly RSI. So very nice. Like you can see the RSI get up to this resistance level here, but if you get that, what happens to the Tesla price, right? That means much higher prices here for Tesla. Is what I'm alluding to. Are meme coins still a thing? Yeah, I think so. I think they're all wrecked right now. Like this Ponky coin. Ponky, man. But yeah, I mean, what? Like this thing just went on a stupid run, dude. Like what? 7,000% move. I mean, yeah, I would suspect this thing to pull back. It's already got a weekly reset. I'm just giving you an example of one of them. I don't know. I mean, it just made a one wave, right? Like if you're looking at like Elliott wave structure or something, you got one. Who knows where the two wave is going to end? Maybe it ends here at 14 cents. Then you get a three wave. You know, you're probably going to get like a 5 wave structure on something like this. Or you may not. I don't know. Let's look at Dogecoin, like one of the blue chip meme coins. Okay, so you had your descending triangle breakout, and now you've just come back down to what looks to be a value area. Yeah, I got nothing bad to say about Dogecoin here. This actually looks not bad at all. Like a nice consolidation structure. It even looks like maybe a wedge pattern in development. Right, your RSI weekly reset, perfect bounce off bearish control zone to sit in neutral territory here. Your weekly wave trend kind of trending close to the buy zone here. Weekly stochastic cross up. No buy signal yet, but cross up. Okay. It looks like a cup and handle, pretty much like a cup and handle, right? Like you made this cup pattern or this descending triangle pattern. I mean, yeah, you can just go by the descending triangle. The descending triangle is 654% measured move. You pretty much it's telling you it's going to go back to its all-time high after it resolves this triangle. Okay. And that's probably also going to be confluent with the cup and handle that it's in, which let's just say it tags 8 cents or something, and that's the low. So that's another 171% measured move from this break. And it's just that. It's literally exactly that. Okay. Dogecoin. Yeah. Meme coins, I think, are still going to be good. Looks like it's pretty much in a value area down here. We might see one more tag, like I said, 8 cents or something, potentially. I don't know. I just picked up some Theta coin. I think this is a good AI play. Let me know what you guys think about this structure here. I drew this out a while ago, right? The falling wedge, the breakout, now the back test right off the long-term channel. Theta coin, I think this is actually breaking right now. This actually broke on the weekly. You can see it. It broke the trend line here on the weekly time frame this week. Or we actually just closed outside and opened there on the weekly. Okay. Low, higher low, double bottom on the weekly time frame, neckline 140 for a validation of that pattern. And that to me looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Weekly buy signal confirmed. Okay. Confirmed. Swing traders, this is what you guys look for. I took a swing trade here. Regular candles gave me a buy signal. HA candles, not quite, but to me it looks good enough to buy. So I took a position here. I think it's going to be good. Yeah, and your swing target is $15, top of the wedge. And who knows, if you end up breaking the structure and we go into something like this and we pull back one more time here and we make a blow off top, we could be looking at some crazy numbers on this thing. Like we had like a 5-wave structure here. But really, I think this is just like a 1 wave. And we might get our 5th wave or something. It's not that textbook, but EGLD also kind of looks like that. I picked up a position in this too. But this is a clear 5-wave structure on EGLD last cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you had your ABC correction, right? A, B, C. I mean, I don't know. I don't really like using Elliott wave theory, but something like that. Basically, you had an ABC, or basically you had this drawdown here, and now you're going to. I mean, Theta coin looks a lot better than EGLD does, to be fair, but it's right at the range low. So to me, I don't mind being in a trade down here, with the upside potential being at least back up to the top of the range, which is $72, like a 3x. Not a bad trade there. Can easily risk manage it if we end up losing this low. Then we'd be looking like $7 if we lose this low. So yeah, cool. We're losing viewers. People are bored with my shenanigans. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're gonna cut the stream here. Pray for Bitcoin, man. I think everything's gonna be just fine. We probably got a couple more weeks of chopping around until we confirm a buy signal, and that's it. Just stay tuned, stay vigilant, try to pick up spot positions at range lows, at discounts, man. Build your positions, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great week, guys. Oh, the federal funds rate. I didn't look at that. Let's look at that. So first, risk assets. Okay, well, risk assets in general would just be like S&P, right? Okay. So we just look at the S&P. We look at Fed funds. Man, did they take it off this? They took it off, dude. Federal. Okay, they didn't. Okay, this is the federal funds rate. And if we add the S&P to it, okay, we can only chart on a weekly time frame. So in January of 2020, it's when we had the dip, and then we had COVID. This was the COVID dip. And then they raised rates. And as they were raising rates, the market came off. So now they're going to reduce rates, and the market should go up. You guys see that, right? Like if they bring it down eventually, I think we eventually see 2.5% by the end of 25 on the federal funds rate. Yeah, it's not going to be anything crazy, I don't think. And they cut rates in 2007. But this was in 2007. And the trend, okay, is a little bit different here. Inflation was a little bit different reading. And you can see that we've pivoted on the Fed funds. So like what's going to happen is this is going to dip, but it's actually making a higher low than these lows on the rates. And the market, yeah, we might get a little bit of a shakeout or something after they do that, but it's just going to get bought because what's going to happen is these rates aren't going to ever really go back below 2%. I don't think we're ever going to see 0% interest rates again. Like those days are gone, right? Confirmed gone, double bottom gone, right? We will what? See 0% interest rates again? I don't think so. Yeah, if we get that, everyone's calling for a depression, which we might see at some point, maybe by like 2030 or something. We'll see. But I think at that point, especially for Bitcoin, it's going to have gained a lot of market cap by then. I think we're going to see Bitcoin prevail in something like that, in that type of scenario. Like what did gold do in a depression? 1923. Well, we had backstop. We have backstops now for these crashes too. So like it's different. But this chart doesn't even go back. This goes back to 2018 gold. Yeah. How is this all the data that I have on gold, man? That sucks. Okay, yeah, this makes a lot more sense. Here we go. All right, so the last real recession we had was 2008. And that was a recession. That was a financial collapse. What 1923 was our last like real depression. Gold wasn't even on this chart, I don't think. Really. Oh yeah, here. This is probably it. Gold went from $22 to $20. Is that right? I mean, the dollar is not going to go anywhere, dude. They're just going to create CBDCs out of stablecoins. Like USDC is going to be a CBDC. Like, if the whole landscape is shifting into a crypto financial ecosystem or a financial system, then like they're just going to move it to there. That's it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Smart money's loading up on Bitcoin now because they know what's going on. You think BlackRock loads up this much Bitcoin because they're going to sell it? No, they're going to just fucking hold it and then just use derivatives to short it. They're going to just sit on their Bitcoin position, man. They're going to launch derivatives so they can buy puts and short Bitcoin against their spot position. They're not going to sell their Bitcoin. You'll see. There will be forced liquidations and we will go into another bear market, but I still think that they're going to hold majority of their Bitcoin. I mean, they own what, 300 some thousand Bitcoin? All right. Take Michael Saylor. He's heavily invested in Bitcoin. Is he going to short his position? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why they want options, so they can short it without offloading their spot position, long-term spot positions. Because they acquired a lot of their Bitcoin at what, like 38 to 40K? Meaning it's probably not going back there after they take this thing to $100,000, $200,000. Like even on a 80% correction, what does Bitcoin go back to? 50K? Something like that, right? Yeah. Exactly. And they know that. So that's it. I don't think Bitcoin really goes below 40K at any point in time, even any of these dips here. I don't think we see below 40K, truthfully. I think that if we do see another big dump here, it's not going to go below 40K. So that's it. Just sit back, relax, and watch the show, man. It's going to be a show. Should. Yep. Have a good night, guys. Appreciate your guys' time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.